Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald on 1499.3 KLIN.
Talk and Text Tuesday. I tell you what, our last show for the whole week before we hit into the holidays. Call or text in the Hunt Irrigation Talk and Text line. We'd love to chat with you throughout the afternoon, the hour here. 402-479-1400. Well, I would love to get your thoughts on this topic because I saw this today and I just have to ask myself, where are the adults? I mean, I'm not kidding. Where are the adults in this world? Transgenders, boys in youth sports, in college sports. We're going to talk about that as well. But should it be allowed? We're going to jump into that next segment. I have an audio clip from a 16-year-old girl out in California, an athlete, who had to lecture her school board about how uncomfortable and threatened she and her teammates feel having transgender boys in their locker room and restrooms. I seriously don't understand where our world's gone wrong with this. I do not get it. We're going to also look at the San Jose State women's volleyball team controversy with their transgender and the decision that the court made in regards to that biological male playing in their tournament coming up I think it's starting tomorrow. Where's the common sense? Where's the truth? Here's the truth. God created human beings in his own image, male and female. He created them. That's where I stand on this. So if you have an opinion, call or text or comment. 402-479-1400, the Hunt Irrigation Talk and Text line. You can also comment on any of our 8 social media feeds as well, and we'd love for you to join the show. All right, coming up for the rest of the week on KLIN, not on Drive Time Nebraska, but KLIN. No shows Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tomorrow, Husker men's basketball against South Dakota. Then Thursday, no show because, hey, it's Thanksgiving. And I think, Wyatt, you've set the scale back a few pounds. So you're ready to go.
Sure, yeah.
And enjoy with your family. And then on Friday, big day for Husker sports. We have volleyball in the afternoon. Then we have Husker football against Iowa. And it's going to be good. Actually, volleyball is going to be, top 4 Penn State, number 4 Penn State against number 2 Nebraska.
Oh, my gosh. That's going to be such a good matchup. I'm so excited for that.
Leading right into the big game against Iowa.
Oh, we are going to kick some hockey. Doug, you have no idea how ready I am for that game. I've got some personal beef with that game.
So why do you have personal beef?
So my dad is a Hawkeye fan. And so, yeah.
And you're going to be around.
Luckily, we're going to be around all Husker fans that day.
So is there divided political views as well in the family? Because that could be a pretty dangerous weekend.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to let the booze do the talking this weekend, man. I'm going to just drink the pain away.
Well, and I tell you what, in a little bit too, I'm going to talk about Luke Fickell from Wisconsin. You know, there was that little altercation. We talked about it yesterday after the game against Wisconsin on Saturday between Donovan Raiola and Luke Fickell. And Luke's his University of Wisconsin Police Department crew, one of his security guards actually grabbed our coach, and they had a little 15-second little interaction. And finally today, Coach Fickell talked about it. And I think he's lying through his teeth. But he's trying to smooth things over, which is fine. But we'll get into his comments on what his reaction is to that. All right. Well, we'd love your thoughts again on a Talk and Text Tuesday, 402-479-1400, plus your chance to play Fantasy Huskers. It's right around the corner. Brought to you by Nebraska Sign. All right. Thanks so much for listening to Drive Time Nebraska. We'll see you here in just a couple minutes.
Bringing you the news that shapes your world.
The topics that matter to me.
1499.3 KLIN.
If you've inherited valuables from past loved ones and don't have a clue what to do with them, Lincoln Coin and Bullion is the place to go. Our team will tell you more about your collectible coins, gold, and silver, and give you an appraisal of their worth. When you're ready to sell, we will provide transparent, line-by-line, item-specific offers so you can make the best decision. We operate by appointment only for your privacy and your security. Nebraska's largest coin, currency, and bullion dealer. Lincoln Coin and Bullion, where transparency is the standard.
There's something to be said for American made, but at Monolith, we're helping create Nebraska made. From here in Nebraska, we're producing low-emission carbon black for tires across North America. Soon we'll be providing farmers with locally made fertilizer to reduce our reliance on foreign imports. We're investing hundreds of millions in our multiple Nebraska facilities and employing Nebraskans in high-paying jobs that support families and communities. Monolith, Nebraska made.
In this season of togetherness, support older adults through Tabitha. Remember Lincoln area residents who just don't have the luxury of friends or family nearby or the means to shop for and cook food. 81% cannot afford to cover the cost of this meal delivery that allows them to remain independent at home. Give the gift of meals with Tabitha Meals on Wheels. Go to tabitha.org/serve and make a donation today. Tabitha Foundation is a purpose-driven 501c3 nonprofit. Your donation is tax deductible.
Show clients your appreciation, thank your top performers, recognize outstanding service, or simply remember special occasions. The From Nebraska gift shop in Lincoln's Haymarket specializes in gift baskets featuring the highest quality products made right here in Nebraska. We'll fit any budget and even ship it out for you. Add a bottle of James Arthur Vineyards wine to make your gift truly the best Nebraska has to offer. The From Nebraska gift shop, providing the perfect gift for any occasion.
You're listening to Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald. Disagree with Doug? The guests? The topic? Call or text 402-479-1400 now to be a part of the show. KLIN weather brought to you by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical.
Partly to mostly cloudy and chilly this evening with the temperature dropping into low 30s by midnight. After midnight, mostly cloudy and cold with a 20% chance of snow, low in the upper 20s. Wednesday, mostly cloudy with that 20% chance of snow early in the morning, then partly cloudy and breezy in the afternoon, high in the low 40s. From the 1011 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Brandon Rector.
KLIN Time Saver Traffic, delivered by Paisanos, Lincoln's best brick oven pizza.
On the downhill side of our drive time traffic, no accidents or major delays, most traffic moving well. A few volume slowdowns, and we do have several construction projects. We'll want to keep in mind West O Street, Southwest 48th to Southwest 44th, eastbound lane closure for turn lane installation, and North 48th Street, Layton to Walker Avenue, northbound lane closure for private water service. If you come across anything that slows you down, call the traffic hotline 402-479-1414. Make sure the headlights are on. Lincoln's listening to Time Saver Traffic.
Tackling the issues that truly matter to Nebraskans head on. With the occasional targeting call, this is Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald, 1499.3 KLIN.
It looks like Santa Claus sneezed in the studio today. And we got all kinds of decorations up now. Except the problem is we got windows that you look out the studio with, and they're covered up, which is really pretty. We're packaged like a present.
I know. What was your thought process when designing this room, Doug?
Well, you know, it was part of my responsibility along with Jack Mitchell in the morning, and I just walked in and it was already done. So,
well,
I thought his elves showed up.
You did a
Jack's
pretty good
elves. Well, they did. They did show up.
They did, and you did a good job designing the place.
Thank you. So. Thank you. I'd like to take all credit for it, and if we win the prize, I might share whatever that is. So, anyway, and Chris Lofgren's great, by the way. The studio the last 2 days has just been like there's a fireplace in here. The air conditioner's not working. It's warm, and he comes in and brings in a nice little fan, so he's chilling us down. And we appreciate that. I want to thank our title sponsor, Lincoln Coin and Bullion, for taking care of us. I tell you what, our economy, man, it's not what they're telling us like it is. And so you have to take care of yourself. You have to protect yourself financially as well. Gold and silver will do that. It will retain your purchasing power. You know, whenever the Fed says, we want to keep inflation around 4%, 2 to 4%, that what they're telling you is they want to take 2 to 4% of every single dollar that you earn every single year. That's inflation. And so gold is a great way to hedge that over the long period. It's been proven for thousands of years. So Lincoln Coin and Bullion is the place to go. They've been taking care of me for well over 10 years. If you want to buy gold, silver, platinum, or palladium, there's no sales tax. No capital gains in Nebraska either. So, and they work by appointment only, 402-327-2853. And you can go to the website to check out all that they have to offer at LincolnCoinandBullion.com. Well, it's Talk and Text Tuesday. You can call in the Hunt Irrigation Talk and Text line, 402-479-1400. And we're going to get started today talking about, and I saw this story, and I just was like, I cannot believe this is happening. I cannot believe that we have to talk about this. And like I said in the first segment, it's like, where have all the adults gone? Because I'm going to play a clip for you from a 16-year-old gal out in California trying to be a kid, do her schoolwork, be on a sports team. But yes, she has to worry about transgender or biological males being on her sports team, being in her locker room, being in her bathroom. And yet all the adults, as we get through the story here, all the adults, like, you know, from the administrative standpoint, you know, well, we can't say anything. Obviously, they don't want to buck the system because obviously they'd lose whatever they're going to lose. Yet a 16-year-old has to step up and at least say things right. So here's what happened. A girls cross-country runner at Martin Luther King High School in Riverside, California, delivered a really passionate speech, we'll play it here in a second, to her school board on last Thursday, amid an ongoing controversy that the trans athlete is on her team. 16-year-old student, her name is Riley Morrow, super proud of Riley, addressed a recent lawsuit by her teammates alleging that these gals made Save Girls Sports t-shirts. That's what they said, Save Girls Sports t-shirts. The administration called the shirts to be likened to a swastika by school officials. So the plaintiffs, the gals who had worn the shirts after the transgender athlete made the team, this guy didn't consistently attend practices, and he didn't meet even the key varsity eligibility requirements, but he was placed on varsity anyway, displacing one of these girls from her spot. And that's why they made these t-shirts, Save Girls Sports. The athletic department in the school alleged that they then forced the students to remove and conceal their shirts, claiming that they created a hostile environment. And they compared to wearing these shirts to wearing a swastika in front of Jewish students. Why would you even say that?
Those are two different wavelengths. That doesn't make any sense to me, man.
It doesn't make any sense. So Morrow, the gal, the 16-year-old, spoke to the Riverside Unified School District School Board meeting on Thursday last week, lambasting her school officials and the notion that trans athletes should be allowed to compete in women's sports.
I'm a student at Martin Luther King High School, and I run on the cross-country team. So I'm constantly affected by these actions that have taken place this season. And I have been around the females and just my team in general who have felt almost silenced to speak out about it because the whole LGBTQ is shoved down our throats, it is put in our face, and we live in a society where it is almost impossible to speak out on it without facing the repercussions of it. And I went myself to have a discussion with the head of the athletic director when nobody really felt comfortable enough to speak out. And I don't think it's fair, knowing Caitlin and knowing Taylor, to see their spots getting taken away, to see all these things being jeopardized for one person. It feels as though that my school and the school district is choosing to support one person instead of the whole team and the whole school as a total. Like, it's not fair. It's not okay. I try my best not to put personal beliefs into it, but seeing this first-handedly, seeing my teammates getting their spots taken for one person that's choosing to be a girl, it's not okay. I've done my research. I've looked into the CIF rules and I've looked into the NCAA rules, two completely different things. And when I went into this meeting with the athletic director, I knew that. I knew that going into it, that teachers and coaches and people in the office can't speak on personal opinion. And then to see the athletic director turn around and tell my teammates that their shirts that say Save Girls Sports be compared to a swastika, that is not okay. These girls feel silenced. They felt silenced. And when they finally spoke out and did something to go against it and speak out, not directed towards a single person at all. They were completely stabbed in the back by the person that we were told would support us and be able to help us through this. They were said that it was a hate crime, that they were targeting that one person, and that is not the case at all. Taylor and Caitlin are two of the most nice people I've ever met in my life, and to see them having to be told that they're being hateful people is not okay. And it is not okay that I have to be in a position where I'm going to practice and having to see a male in booty shorts and having to see that around me as a 16-year-old girl. I don't find that as a safe environment. I don't at all. And going into
20
locker room and seeing males in there, I don't find that safe. I don't find going to the bathroom safe when there's guys in there. It's not okay. I'm a 16-year-old girl. There's girls around me where we do not feel safe having boys in our environment. And it isn't okay. It isn't okay to have them on our team. It isn't okay when it's the genetics.
I am so proud of Riley, number one, for standing up and speaking out. She shouldn't have to do this. And if you watch the video too, you watch the school board members and they're just sitting there like she said, they can't speak on their own personal opinion. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can, but you don't want to lose maybe a job or money or position or respect. But you can. Where is the administration on this? Where's the school board on this? I'm sure the parents are involved, but at the same time, where are the parents involved in this? The two girls who have filed the lawsuit, Caitlin and Taylor, shared how difficult the situation has been. Taylor said that her initial reaction was, I was really surprised because it was like, why is this happening to me? There's a transgender student on the team. Why am I getting displaced when I've worked hard and gone to all the practices and this student has only attended a few of the practices? And then the shock of having their shirts compared to swastikas was unexpected to them as well. Quote, it was definitely hard to hear because we're by no means trying to be hateful. We're just wearing shirts that express what we believe and trying to bring awareness to the situation. Now, Martin Luther King High School, where these gals attend, is just one of the many public education institutions in California that's currently embroiled in a lot of controversy over trans athletes on girls or women's sports teams. Now, you might be saying, well, Doug, why are you bringing this up? If it's in California, why are you bringing it up here? This is culture, my friends. And it starts out like that warm little pot of water that you put the frog in. And then you just raise the heat. And then something that is shocking is intentionally designed to become unshocking and you become numb to it over time. I don't want this to happen here. Drive Time Nebraska is about asking the question, what's best for our kids and grandkids? How do we uphold the values that make Nebraska the good life? This is not right. My opinion, it's not right at the high school level, any level from 18 on down. It's personally, in my opinion, not right at the collegiate level. Pro level, totally different. You're an adult, you're making your money. You choose whether to participate or not. You can decide if you want to stay on that team or not, if you want to play in the sport or not. But when you get to a point of, whether it's select sports, college, high school athletics, college athletics, you really don't have a choice. You can just quit, but that's not right. And why are we catering to such a low percentage of our demographic? So I did a little bit of research. Williams Institute at UCLA. So obviously it's going to be skewed a little bit from UCLA Law School. It says from their research, overall, 0.6% to 1.4% of the population in the United States identify as transgender. So let's take an average of that. Let's go 1%. Why are we catering? And we've been doing this in our society. catering to the very minute minority to change the culture for everybody. And then we have to have a 16-year-old stand up and have enough, to speak out when she shouldn't have. She said it and she's right. She should not have to have done what she did. But I am proud of her for having the courage to do it. Here was a response that I agree with on social media in regards to this. This person said, a 16-year-old girl having to lecture grown adults that men are men and women are women is a sad reminder of how far the society has fallen. When a small minority is given preference over a majority who are adamantly opposed to the dictates, shoved down their throats. When speaking of common sense is treated as a punishable offense by those in charge. Those who have promoted this madness ad nauseum need to be removed from any and all positions of authority. And I think that's a good, powerful statement. All right. There's a high school, Stone Ridge Christian High School, that's dealing with the same thing. We're going to dig into that one in the next segment, along with San Jose State College volleyball. Judge just made a decision in regards to transgender athletes as they get to coming up to their big tournament here. So your chance to play Fantasy Huskers is right around the corner. We're going to give you a keyword in just a minute. And then you can call that in or text it in, actually, 402-479-1400. Cities from across the state, they are listening to Drive Time Nebraska.
The best way to interact with KLIN shows is through the Hunt Irrigation talk and text line at 402-479-1400. Hunt Irrigation, the right choice, the professional choice, the water smart choice.
Your privacy is their priority at Lincoln Coin and Bullion. Secure your appointment to buy or sell silver and gold with Nebraska's largest coin, currency, and bullion dealer today.
Every child deserves a mentor. Teammates Mentoring of Lincoln believes in the power of one-on-one relationships to build hope. Be the support you needed when you were young. Give a student the gift of time, friendship, and trust. Be there to simply listen, encourage, and focus on their strengths. Commit to spending 1 hour per week with a student who needs you. Make a difference in a child's life and become a mentor with Teammates. Together, we can create a stronger community. Visit LincolnTeammates.org to learn more.
While many seem ready to deck the halls, for some of us, the holiday season can make the absence of a loved one especially difficult. I'm Tom Roper with Roper & Sons. Join us for a Blue Christmas service, a community gathering with music and words of hope on Sunday, December 22nd at 4 p.m. at the Roper & Sons South Chapel, located at 40th and Yankee Hill. Roper & Sons, we can find comfort together.
You're listening to Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald. More of the show coming up on 1499.3 KLIN. KLIN weather brought to you by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical.
Partly to mostly cloudy and chilly this evening, with the temperature dropping into low 30s by midnight. After midnight, mostly cloudy and cold with a 20% chance of snow, low in the upper 20s. Wednesday, mostly cloudy with that 20% chance of snow early in the morning, then partly cloudy and breezy in the afternoon, high in the low 40s. From the 1011 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Brandon Rector.
KLIN Time Saver Traffic, delivered by Paisanos, Lincoln's best brick oven pizza.
Wrapping up our traffic reports, we do have new slow spot. Thanks to a listener for calling in. Westbound Nebraska Parkway, just before 27th Street. A stalled vehicle. Do expect slower traffic in the area. Otherwise, most traffic moving well. A few volume slowdowns, and we do have several construction projects. We'll want to keep in mind 17th Street, A to O Street, lane restrictions for our water main replacement project. Make sure the headlights are on, and driving needs your full attention. Don't be a distracted driver. Buckle up and put the phone down. Keeping you moving with Time Saver Traffic. I'm Chris Lofgren.
Training threes on the issues that truly matter to Nebraskans, with the occasional technical or two. This is Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald on 1499.3 KLIN.
All right, let's lighten the mood on this Talk and Text Tuesday and play some Fantasy Huskers. Brought to you by Nebraska Sign. Chance to Win some Valentinos and Best of Big Red, $50 each. That's a nice gift card basket, especially as we head into the holidays here. All right, all you have to do is text the keyword FEAST, F-E-A-S-T. That's what we're going to be doing here in just a couple of days. FEAST to 402-479-1400 for your chance to win, and we will pick the winner at the beginning of next segment. So again, text the word FEAST into 402-479-1400. Speaking of the Huskers, we got a big game coming up on Friday, obviously, against Iowa. That's going to be pretty fun. Something that happened after the Wisconsin game, the big win on Saturday, that I thought was interesting because I watched it. Actually saw a couple of the people involved in the little altercation that I personally know. So I should actually reach out to them and say what really happened there. But so here's the scenario. Maybe you've seen it on social media. It's been out there. There's finally been a response from Coach Fickell in Wisconsin. So I wanted to bring you that. But first, I got to set this up because if you don't know what it's about, then you're going to be like, well, it doesn't make any sense, Doug. So after the game was over, Coach Fickell he's surrounded by, I think, 3 of the Wisconsin Police Department security guards. Literally, I think they're police officers, and they're escorting him off the field. And as he's going off the field, then Coach Donovan Raiola is walking past them. Donovan turns his head and he says a few things. Coach Fickell turns his head and they kind of do a little bit of a stare down for quite a bit of time, for 3, 4, or 5 seconds. And the next thing you see is Coach Fickell just say something to the police officer. Police officer runs after Coach Raiola, grabs him by the arm as he's getting ready to greet somebody else, the coach, grabs him and turns him around. You see them interact for a few seconds. I think it's around 15 seconds or so. And then the next thing you know, you see them shaking hands, and then the officer turns back around, sprints back off the field. And of course, there hasn't been much response about what exactly was said. Donovan Raiola played for Wisconsin. So I mean, there's a lot of history here, right? He played in the pros as well. He knows Coach Fickell as well. So here's what happened. So Coach Rule talked about it today. He said he talked to Raiola. Raiola said it was nothing. It was no big deal, was the quote. He said it was no big deal. Then Fickell was in a press conference yesterday. And this is what he said. He said, I don't know. Let's see what he said. Yeah. I don't know if he was talking to Casey, which was somebody else that was next to him, another coach, offensive coach from Wisconsin. I don't know if he was talking to Casey or somebody said something. I just don't know, said Coach Fickell. I just said it looked to me that maybe he said something to me, but I had no idea. And I had no idea that it was even something. So if it was, I didn't spend a whole lot of time thinking about it. Come on, Coach. If you watch that video, he is like giving Donovan the stare down. Don't tell me you didn't think about it or didn't know about it. You sent your police officer after him. Anyway, just come out. If nothing else, just come out and say, you know what? We had some words. We didn't know for sure who he was. Obviously, I'm sure he didn't know who he was. And we just wanted to clarify. Or just say no comment. Don't say I didn't spend any time thinking about it. I didn't even know if it was anything. You wouldn't have that kind of reaction if you thought it was anything. So anyway, I just thought that was really interesting. All right, let's go back. I want to move back to biological men and transgender sports. We talked about Riley Morrow, 16-year-old, spoke up at a school board meeting saying she was not comfortable having a transgender boy on her team, sharing a locker room, sharing a restroom with him. Then one of her friends on the team gets booted off the varsity team and replaced for this guy who didn't even meet the requirements for being part of the varsity team. The gals create these shirts that say Save Girls Sports. Then the school says, you can't wear those, take those off. It's like, they tell them it's like having a swastika on your chest in front of anyone Jewish. So then they sue the school. And I played that clip earlier. You can go back and listen to it on the podcast of this 3 minutes of her really sharing what I think is courageous, bold, necessary, but unfortunately unnecessary because somebody else should have done it for her. She should not have done it. Well, that's not the only school that's having issues right now. Stone Ridge Christian High School, their girls volleyball team was scheduled to face San Francisco Waldorf in the Northern California Division 6 tournament, but they forfeited it. It's Friday, Wyatt. It's my Friday. Forfeited it in an announcement just before the match over the presence of a trans athlete on the team. This was last week. The transgender volleyball player was booed and harassed in October 12th match between Notre Dame Belmont in Belmont, California, against Half Moon Bay High School. This is according to ABC. Half Moon Bay then rostered the transgender athlete. So he was actually part of the team, rostered on the team. In response to the complaints of the boos and the harassment, the athletic director of Aragon High School, who is also the co-chair of the Peninsula Athletic. There's so many names here. Peninsula Athletic League athletic directors. So basically, he's a high school athletic director. He's also co-chair of their athletic directors of athletic directors. And he said that there's going to be consequences for the boos from that school. We're creating something for our students to have. Here's the thing. You have to look at this scenario. Bottom line, let's just break it down, right? You got two teams. One team has a transgender athlete on. He's on the roster. They get ready to play the match. The opposing team realizes there's a guy on the other team. They say, we're forfeiting the match. At the same time, the student section realizes the same thing, and they boo. There you go. If that's the case. They could have booed because they were forfeiting too. Who knows? So they boo. And then a guy who's on the area athletic director's board basically says there's going to be consequences for the booing. Here's my point in this. We're placing our kids in situations like this that they should never be in the first place. Yet we're going to punish them for it. Why are we creating the scenario to begin with? And then it just moves on up, right? It has moved on up to the college level. Of course, we've heard about this the last several weeks. San Jose State volleyball team, their own players don't agree with having a transgender on the team. Co-captain Brooke Slusser has joined a lawsuit against the NCAA for allowing him, Blair Fleming, to be on the team, a biological male. And Slusser said this: she was not made known of his biological maleness when she joined the team. So she was suing. Still part of the team, still playing on the team. Now, here's the thing. They've been playing. San Jose State has been. There's been other teams that have forfeited to that team because they're just saying, we're not going to play against them. So they take this lawsuit up because they think he should be taken off the roster. U.S. District Judge Cato Cruz denied a motion that was filed by them, 12 of the plaintiffs, of the gals, of players, I don't know, possibly coaches, to saying that this guy should be ineligible to play. Judge says, nope, he's eligible. Tournament starts tomorrow. Mountain West tournament in Las Vegas starts tomorrow, and he'll be there. Now, here's what really is frustrating. The university, San Jose State University, puts out this statement. All San Jose State University student athletes are eligible to participate in their sports under the NCAA and Mountain West Conference rules. We are grateful that the court rejected the 11th hour attempt to change those rules. Our team looks forward to competing in the Mountain West volleyball tournament this week. I bet you do. I bet you do. And guess who's going to be starting? An 11th hour attempt. This story has been going on all year, all season. So just All right. Art says, Art from LA. Oh, Art from LA in California, even. I'm really glad he texted Sin. I'm really glad you're talking about this because the media here will not talk about it. This is a big deal, and not many local stations will say anything negative about a man in a woman's sport unless it's to promote it. It's one of the reasons I tune into your show. You are not silenced like the media here is. Ooh. Art from LA, thank you for texting that in. Seriously. Because Wyatt and I were talking before the show. I was showing him my show content, and he's like, oh, here we go. But Art, the reason why, and you know this, you're living out there, you know, if the media's not going to talk about it because they're afraid of what the ramifications are, and that's ultimately what it is. They're afraid of losing sponsorships, or they're afraid of losing credibility, or they'll get fired. Somebody will get fired because they don't agree with that stance. I don't want that to happen here. I don't want it to happen here. And the only way we can allow that to be something that is possible is if we talk about it. And we cannot let this happen. We cannot let this happen. From our state school board for our high school on down, our local school boards need to stand up against this. Local athletic directors, colleges, we need to be able to, we need to talk about it. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Is it the right thing to talk about? Yes. So, Art, I appreciate that. If you have any other comments, you want to call or text it in, 402-479-1400. Art, thanks so much for listening out in California. All right, we're still playing Fantasy Huskers here, and you can text in the keyword FEAST, F-E-A-S-T, to 402-479-1400 before we pick our winner here in just a couple of minutes. And when we come back, we'll keep discussing this issue and more. So stick around.
From the skies to the streets, get the latest weather and traffic.
Always accurate coverage.
1499.3 KLIN. You're listening to Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald. Sports Nightly is next on 1499.3 KLIN.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Hey guys, it's Jack. Now, we've got a great resource for you with open enrollment coming up for Medicare. It's a podcast called What's Up with Medicare. I do it with Jonathan Burleson of Nebraska Ship. Now, he's the expert. He's got all the facts about plans, timing, premiums, and more. Check out What's Up with Medicare at podcasthousemedia.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Discover the difference with Oak Electric, a local woman-owned business offering premium electrical service at competitive prices. With over 25 years of experience, their master electrician is one of Lincoln's top experts. Their small, dedicated team focuses on quality control and safety for your family or business. Experience the premium customer service you deserve. When life happens, call Oak Electric at 402-440-5969 because they always answer the phone. Oak Electric, where quality and safety come first.
You're listening to Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald. More of the show coming up on 1499.3 KLIN. KLIN weather brought to you by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical.
Partly to mostly cloudy and chilly this evening with the temperature dropping into low 30s by midnight. After midnight, mostly cloudy and cold with a 20% chance of snow, low in the upper 20s. Wednesday, mostly cloudy with that 20% chance of snow early in the morning, then partly cloudy and breezy in the afternoon, high in the low 40s. From the 1011 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Brandon Rector.
Now back to more Drive Time Nebraska with Doug Fitzgerald on 1499.3 KLIN.
Jim, you're a winner today. Congratulations, and thanks so much for texting in. Playing Fantasy Huskers brought to you by Nebraska Sign. Now what you have to do is text us back with the answer to this question. How many total offensive yards will Nebraska's defense allow Iowa's offense? Very wordy question. Sounds like a bunch of high school athletic names out in California. Just a lot of wordies, a lot of words there. All right, so text that in, and Jim, you'll have a chance to win $50 to Valentino's and Best of Big Red. And your next chance to win will be tomorrow morning with Ellen K. Today with Jack and Friends. But that's it. That'll be it for the rest of the week because programming changes. We've got Husker basketball tomorrow night, Thanksgiving on Thursday, and then on Friday we've got volleyball and football. So it's going to be a great fun weekend, and that's the lineup for KLIN for the rest of the week. It's Talk and Text Tuesday. We'd love for you to call or text or comment in 402-479-1400. I think this is so important. I really appreciate the messages that we've had coming in because this is a tough subject to talk about. I understand that. Art from LA, I appreciate your comments, just saying that verifying what we're talking about here. Transgender and boys in girls sports and the stories we've been talking about, all three of them have been out in California, and he just verified it, just verifying that this is an issue, but not many people are willing to talk about it because of the ramifications. But he's glad that we are talking about it. Here's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and play this again. I want to play Riley's clip again because maybe you didn't hear it earlier on the way in as you're driving around and get ready to get home. But basically, bottom line is this. There's a school out in California that has a transgender boy that's allowed to be on the varsity team, actually took a spot from one of the gals. He hadn't even met the requirements to be on varsity, and nobody was speaking out about it. The administration actually reprimanded two of the girls for having shirts that says Save Girls Sports. That's all it said on it. And told them that it was like wearing swastikas in front of Jewish students. So 16-year-old Riley Morrow has to do what no 16-year-old should have to do. And that's broach this subject and attack it head on by talking to the school board.
I'm a student at Martin Luther King High School, and I run on the cross country team. So I'm constantly affected by these actions that have taken place this season. And I have been around the females and just my team in general who have felt almost silenced to speak out about it because the whole LGBTQ is shoved down our throats, it is put in our face. And we live in a society where it is almost impossible to speak out on it without facing the repercussions of it. And I went myself to have a discussion with the head of the athletic director when nobody really felt comfortable enough to speak out. And I don't think it's fair, knowing Caitlin and knowing Taylor, to see their spots getting taken away, to see all these things being jeopardized for one person. It feels as though that my school and the school district is choosing to support one person instead of the whole team and the whole school as a total. Like, it's not fair. It's not okay. I try my best not to put personal beliefs into it, But seeing this first-handedly, seeing my teammates getting their spots taken for one person that's choosing to be a girl, it's not okay. I've done my research. I've looked into the CIF rules and I've looked into the NCAA rules, two completely different things. And when I went into this meeting with the athletic director, I knew that. I knew that going into it, that teachers and coaches and people in the office can't speak on personal opinion. And then to see the athletic director turn around and tell my teammates that their shirts that say Save Girls Sports be compared to a swastika, that is not okay. These girls feel silenced. They felt silenced. And when they finally spoke out and did something to go against it and speak out, not directed towards a single person at all, they were completely stabbed in the back by the person that we were told would support us and be able to help us through this. They said that it was a hate crime, that they were targeting that one person. And that is not the case at all. Taylor and Caitlin are two of the most nice people I've ever met in my life. And to see them having to be told that they're being hateful people is not okay. And it is not okay that I have to be in a position where I'm going to practice and having to see a male in booty shorts and having to see that around me. As a 16-year-old girl, I don't find that as a safe environment. I don't at all. And going into locker room and seeing males in there, I don't find that safe. I don't find going to the bathroom safe when there's guys in there. It's not okay. I'm a 16-year-old girl. There's girls around me where we do not feel safe having boys in our environment. And it isn't okay. It isn't okay to have them on our team. It isn't okay when it's the genetics.
Riley Morrow, way to go. Super proud of you. I know it took courage to do that. Stand up to talk about something that people don't feel like they can talk about. That's California. Don't think that can't happen here. Part of what I've tried to do over the last few months, especially with the election, is help you realize and see behind the curtain, see what's going on behind the scenes. We saw a lot of the junk that was going on with the election, a lot of the agendas, a lot of money from outside of the state that have been brought in to influence our city, our county, our state. Why? I think this is a tip of that. I think this is a taste of that to change culture. Don't think this can't happen here. How do we combat it? We talk about it. We bring awareness to it. We shine light on it. And then when we do see flares and flickers of this, we have to take action. We had county commissioner races, and I haven't gotten into this. We have county commissioner races where money is coming in from the outside of this state to influence in a crazy way. We have the commissioners actually approving an organization that's promoting this type of behavior within our kids and our culture. And they were approved funds, federal funds. And we talked about that 2 weeks ago. Don't think this isn't being eyed to be brought here to influence our culture. We have to bring awareness to this. And that's what we're going to do here on Drive Time Nebraska. If you want to listen to the podcast of this show, go to klin.com or listen to it on any podcast service. Thanks so much for tuning in today on a Talk and Text Tuesday. We're going to be gone for several days now. We'll see you next Monday again. Thanks so much to my producer, Wyatt. Take advantage of every single second. Have a great Thanksgiving. Sports Nightly's up next, and we'll see you on Monday.
From the Momo Pizzeria and Ristorante Studios, we are the voice of Lincoln. KLIN Lincoln. KDDK HD3 Lincoln. K257GN Lincoln is 1499.3 KLIN.